It's been about a week and I am hopeful that I will hear very soon about my librarian job interview. I'm getting a little antsy. I really just want to know what's happening for next school year, but I'm distracting myself with tasks around the house. Today we're making some burgers and some simple veggies. Nothing crazy, but anything that I can do to busy myself is a good idea right now so that I don't go nuts thinking about all the different options for next year. My parents are coming and there are some things I need to do around the house, so it's perfect timing for me to just focus on other things while I make the long wait for my answers. Hi guys, it is kind of late at night. I'm talking kind of quietly because Joe is asleep in the next room. It's Saturday night, July the 26th, and I just wanted to update you because I have heard back about my job interview for the media coordinator position in my current district. Like I said, I felt like my interview went very well. I brought my personal best. I felt like I had a lot of good ideas to share. I think they were well received. But I did get word tonight from our HR director that I did not get chosen for the spot. My guess is that someone came in either from another district or someone in district that I'm not aware of that's been working on it with more like library background than I have, which is completely understandable. It's a lot simpler to hire someone who already has the license or is, on their way towards the license than to hire someone with the understanding that they're going to, do the steps necessary to get the licensure. I'm sure no one doubted my ability to do it, but I just think in making a decision that puts you ahead if you already have that background. So I'm okay with it. I of course was a little bit disappointed because I was really looking forward to the whole design process, the leadership opportunities and the amount of impact that I would have on our new school would have been tremendous, and I was really looking forward to that aspect of it. And from everything to designing focus group sessions, hearing what everyone had to say, finding creative ways of implementing everyone's ideas, the ordering of everything, the decorating, the organizing, all of that. I was so excited about it. And I was also excited about the fact that being a literacy teacher and having that background, really knowing what is needed and what students are lacking and being able to impact the program in that way. I think that it would have been a phenomenal first admin experience, or potentially only experience, because I did say I can see myself doing this job and not taking an admin role later, not using it as a stepping stone. But to me, the whole point of being an admin was to impact literacy, and there would be no other step necessary to be able to accomplish that in that role. That role would give me all that I was looking for as far as my dream of really making a difference for kids when it comes to literacy. So I've always had a passion for reading and for, helping kids find the joy of reading. And, that would have been a really fun and creative role for me. And it would have allowed me to constantly be refreshing my knowledge and trying new things, which is what, I'm looking for, something that allows me to do that. But I'm okay with it. I knew I was going to be okay with it going into it. I had a very good mindset. I'm okay if it happens. I'm okay if it doesn't happen. And I still feel that way, even though there's that initial oh man, I missed out, but it's okay. I now am like just thinking about my interview on Monday. I have an interview for the STEM school that is in our community, and I'm really just trying to evaluate, do I really want to leave and go to another completely new place? I did build a lot of really good relationships this year. My team is so great to work with. I kind of feel like I need to have a sit down with my boss and just discuss everything that is, that has happened since the end of the school year that made me want to look and see if we can't come to some sort of agreement about, terms, that would sway me in the direction of staying. Because there's a part of me that's just like, it's so much simpler if Joe and I are in the same district. Like, I was looking, and like right now this year, all of our breaks are the same, it appears, for the new calendar year. And I don't know if that's like something that they intentionally do. But even neighboring school districts are not on the same schedule necessarily. So, that does, just because that's true this year doesn't mean that it would continue to be true. And I'm really just like thinking and weighing the pros and the cons right now. So I think I'm, over the next like couple of days, really gonna have to sit down and make myself a list and look at what my life would actually look like if I were to leave to go to the STEM school. Because I think that in some ways I would gain, because my creativity would be completely unleashed. I would no longer have to do this like sage on the stage type of teaching. But I do know that there would be a lot of hours. I think I would really enjoy the hours. And I'm at a point in my life where I don't have like as many home commitments, but still Joe, Baxter, being around the house and being able to keep my house and, all of those things. That's also important to me, being able to spend time in my garden and do things for me. And especially one thing I'm going to have to consider is how it would impact like my serving on worship team, because right now it's like super easy. When I'm at school, I am like 10 minutes away from the church and I can just pop over there for a rehearsal or whatever in the middle of the week. Like, what would that look like? How easy would that be for me if I were to go to the STEM school? That's super important to me, to be able to continue to serve on the worship team and do other things as they arise that I might be interested in, like helping with at the church. So those are the things that are on my mind right now. There's part of me that says, like, maybe it was like a premature reaction to everything that happened at the end of the year. But at the same time, I don't want to sabotage my success either, because what if this move could be the one thing that would like really position me to be in a place where I would be blessed, and maybe that's what God wanted, and that's why he allowed the misunderstandings to happen in the first place. I don't know. I'm really just seeking out, where am I really supposed to be? What is actually the best place? Because it's not like I'm in a hurry. I've been on this journey for a really long time already, but I also don't want to be in a place where what I'm wanting to do is just fighting the system. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person. So I'm just really having to weigh a lot right now. But I did want to just come on here and let you know that I heard about that, and that my mind is kind of like a jumbled mess right now with all of the different like thoughts. I just really have to take some time out and consider everything. Like, I think about like coming back next year to my students that already know me, and the ones that have heard about me, and the ones that I had over summer reading camp that might be in my class. Like, that is like an exciting thought, to like go back into the school building and have kids like walk past me to go to 4th grade and be proud and be excited that they're, that they made it. And then just to, work with my team again. But then I think of all the frustration of feeling like I'm just reading out of a book. And I'm not sure, like, can I do that? Can I do that for a whole nother year? I don't know. Like, and I don't want to be the person later who has to make people do that either. So I don't know. Like, I feel like there has to be some like compromise. Like, for me to stay where I'm at, I would have to be able to feel like there was give and take. I would have to feel like I could have a little bit more leniency to do me than just sprinkling me on top of like a scripted lesson. And, I was thinking about this, like, yes, I'm having like a visceral reaction to having to do the whole scripted thing. Like, I think honestly, it's not the gradual release of responsibility model that I disagree with so much. It's a combination of gradual release of responsibility, like teaching method, with scripted curriculum and curriculum that I don't like. It's all of that together. And I think that like if something could give just a little bit, that it would be doable for me. So maybe these are just like conversations that I need to have. Whenever you have an organization, there's the structure of how it runs, but then there's also the fact that every person that comes into an organization and that's hired impacts the organization, because it's more than a building and it's more than a job and procedures. It is like an organization's made up of the people that are there. So like me being hired into that organization impacts what the organization is. And so I guess I just have like this thought in the back of my head, like, things have changed because I'm there now and I was hired. And now that I'm part of things, like, that changes the whole, it's not like I'm trying to upset the entire apple cart and make everything change, but me being there impacts what the organization is as a whole. And I feel like that's enough to deserve at least a conversation to see where are we at and what might I be able to do so that I can feel more comfortable and I can feel like I'm able to do what I'm good at in the best interest of kids. So yeah, I think I'm going to try to get together with my boss this week, and I'm going to try to just have a talk with him because, like I said before, we have a friendship that goes way back, and, your boss can't be your friend. So it's like a difficult situation for both of us. But I just feel like the relationship ought to allow us to have some of those like frank conversations. I just think that there should be openness and the ability to have that honest conversation without it seeming like I'm just trying to take over or be difficult or change the entire way that things are done, because that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to do things that I think are going to be really good for our kids. And I just feel like it's worth a conversation, right? It's worth a shot. But also, is this fear? That's my other thought. Like, is this fear of something that like I don't know what the new STEM school job is going to be like? And am I just afraid of success? And this whole thing just happened because it was supposed to happen, because I needed shook up to go in the direction that God wants me to go in. And now I'm just afraid, because if that's where he wants me, then it's going to be great. And I shouldn't be afraid. Like, I can't make my decisions based on fear, and I can't make my decisions based on anger. I have to make my decisions based on what I think is going to be the best, and also what I hear God telling me to do. And right now my brain is so like full of all these different thoughts that I just need to like separate myself out in the next few days and get quiet and figure out what he's saying to me instead of what I'm just thinking in my head. So I have been praying about it. I've been praying about it since it happened. I'm kind of one of these people, like, I pray and then I move and I see what I sense God doing as I'm moving. And if I sense that God's like that I'm going ahead of God, then I pull back. And right now I'm just trying to figure out, is it time for me to pull back? Am I getting ahead of God? Or am I just afraid? You know? So lots to think about. I'm sitting down here on the floor actually because I'm trying to put some things away in this room. This is my spare bedroom, and my parents are coming tomorrow. So I will have some time to think as I put away t-shirts and fold laundry and straighten up in here tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, I hope that the next couple of days will bring some clarity, and that I will be at peace with whatever I need to do after that. Because I just found out that I thought that August 9th was their first day, but actually it's like August 4th is the first work day. And so that leaves me, if I choose to go to the STEM school, if they offer me a position and I choose to go there, that doesn't leave me a lot of time before I go back to work. So yeah, that's a very short summer considering I just finished summer reading camp, but yeah, some years are like that. So anyway, I'm drinking my lemon water. Aren't you proud of me? But I'm gonna put a few things away and I'm gonna get to sleep, because I told Joe that I wanted to go to the early church service tomorrow morning so that we have plenty of time at home before my parents get here to get everything like organized and ready and everything. So the house is not in bad shape. We want to do a few things, and I just don't want to be in a hurry, so that I can, you know, do putz around and do them at my own pace. So anyway, the cool thing is that I'm going to know within the next week what's going on. So they pretty much have to make a quick decision and turn it around as soon as possible. And yeah, and I got to get a lesson together tomorrow for my interview on Monday. So there's that too.
Do it again, because I had it on photo.
Yep. You missed it. You missed it.
Joe and I have been experiencing the county extension offices classes on canning this summer. It's just kind of a fun little date that we've had together, and I've been really enjoying it. Here we were doing a class on pickled beets.
So I just got out of the interview. You can probably hear my air. It is like 100 degrees outside, so I apologize for the noise. But I got out of my interview for the STEM school. I enjoyed the interview process. It was different in some ways because they asked me a whole bunch of scenarios that, like, what would you do if this happened? What would you do if that happened? And I think it was like to gauge my understanding of what mastery learning is, and what growth mindset really means, like in an everyday sense, like how that plays out in our decision making as teachers, well, as coaches. Because they call the teachers coaches because they're coaching students, and the students are the ones that are actually driving the instruction. So it was interesting because they would give me like just like a couple of minutes for each question, and the timer would go off. Or maybe it was 1 minute for each question, I think. And there's a whole bunch of those. But I felt confident. Sometimes I ran out of time before I got to the end. But at the very end, after they had asked me all the regular interview questions, after I had asked my questions and I had done my model lesson, it was like a 20-minute lesson that I had to do. At the end of that, then they gave me like a essay question, which I don't think I'm supposed to share the essay question because that would mess up their interview process. So I won't share the interview question, but I will say in a general sense that the interview question allowed them to see my vision and how I fit in the school, basically. Kind of like what I imagine the school has the potential to be. That's basically the best way I can say it without like giving away anything. That would be wrong to give away. So I felt like I had the opportunity within that to go back and kind of touch on maybe a couple of things that I wanted to make sure they knew about me that I didn't get finished saying. Like, for example, there was one time they asked a question. It was about what you would do if a parent demanded like things to be regraded. And the growth mindset philosophy is that students can have multiple attempts to reach a goal, to do an assignment. So you're supposed to allow students another chance and another chance and another chance. The trick is that you're supposed to allow it to the extent that the student is willing to take ownership of their learning. So just a parent calling and saying, I want my child's like work regraded, it wasn't fair. I think it has to also be the student saying, hey, I didn't do my best on this assignment. Can I do this again? This is what I want to fix. And then you know that the student's invested and it's not just their parent saying you have to get a better grade than that. So that's the key, is the students owning their work and their learning in growth mindset, that it's not coming from the outside in, that it should be an internally motivated desire to achieve that you're trying to develop in your students. And by allowing them opportunities to take a risk and fail until they get it, develops confidence in that risk taking to where the students buy in more and they have ownership in what they're doing. So anyway, my lesson was like too much for the time that I had. And I read at the beginning of the class, like from a book, a novel that would set the stage for the project, which in a 20-minute model lesson, like took up a little extra time. But at the same time, I think it gave a really good background for understanding empathy. Anyway, I don't know how good my questioning was because I didn't have a lot of opportunity to go through all of the responses that they were able to give in that short of a time. So that was not like the best at showing my questioning abilities. So that's maybe like a negative on my part, but I felt like I answered other questions like really well and showed my flexibility, my versatility, and my desire to teach in the style that they're promoting. So we'll see what happens. I should find out really quick because they start teacher work days next week. So I'm gonna find out this week. And yeah, so how am I feeling? I'm feeling like, of course, like breathe, just breathe. I feel really good. I feel like the people there are great people. The people where I'm at now are great people. I feel like if they call me and say that they gave it to someone else, I'll be okay. If they call me and say that they want me for the position, I'll be okay. Like, I'm just gonna be okay, like with whatever happens. But I think long term, I fit here at this STEM school better than I fit in regular public school. And I think that I want to hang my hat somewhere where, like, at the end of my career, I can say that I was teaching where my philosophy meshed, you know, where it meshed with the overall goals. And it's an exciting place. Like, they do a lot of really exciting things for kids. Yeah, so we'll see. We will just see what happens. Good morning. It is Thursday morning, July the 31st. So tomorrow is the 1st of August. Monday is the first teacher work day at the STEM school. It's an optional week though, so I am still waiting to hear back. I did forget to tell you that I had a really good conversation with my current boss. We went for coffee at a coffee shop nearby the school and just sat down and kind of like went through everything that happened, and like just really, like, it was a very kind and cordial conversation, and made me feel like so much better about everything. And I had the opportunity to ask some questions to clarify some motives. I don't want to go into like everything because, you know, for respect, you know, out of respect for him, there was a lot of things that, you know, I just want to keep between us. But I just did want to say, like, that where I'm feeling right now, like, no matter what, I will be okay. And I felt that way before, but after this conversation, like, I just felt like I can see the path forward in either scenario. So it's nice that I'm in this position where, like, last year when I was considering my possibilities and staying in my old county that I came from, I felt like really stressed. I felt really like I don't want to be there because I feel like I'm not being supported in what I'm trying to do. I don't feel that way here. It's more of like a just a difference in achieving the same goal, if that makes sense. And so overall, like, I feel very comfortable with next year. I would really like to know what I'm doing, but I know that reality is that, you know, I will know soon. So I'm just gonna, you know, continue to wait and be patient. But I just wanted to say that, like, where I was at back in June is not where I'm at now with everything. Like, because that conversation was like very like, just settling for me, just made me settle down in my spirit and, just feel like at peace about whatever direction that my school year ends up taking. So I'm in a good place. I'm excited for next year. Also, I really just want to make my classroom like plans, and I want to kind of like think about what the first week of school will look like, and I want to continue my classroom setup with y'all. But I'm really kind of waiting on that answer to be able to move forward with that. So please be patient with me for my classroom setup series, because it will like get back on track as soon as I get an answer. And I'm really hoping that that's going to be in the next couple of days, but I don't know what their plans are. I don't know like how many people they interviewed. I don't know like anything about their timeline really. I didn't really ask timeline questions because it was not really like natural at that point, I don't think. So yeah, I'm just waiting, and I feel good. I feel like rested, rejuvenated. I feel like ready to go back into the classroom now. And
like I've processed everything that I needed to process about last school year, and no matter what, I'm going to be like starting with like a really positive mindset. I'm not going to be starting with like a, oh, well, I have to be here kind of mindset. I'm going to be in a good place. So that's it. That's all I have for you right now, but I'm hoping that I will have more for you very, very soon. My parents are in town this week from Southern Maryland, and it has been so fun taking them around, being distracted by all of the sightseeing, and I just really enjoy spending time with them, especially right now. It's been a blessing to have them here as I await this interview answer, and so the timing couldn't be better for a little family visit. We took them to get some food at a couple of places in the area, and also we took them on the historic trolley tour in our town, and it's been a fun few days. And then we're going to go see my daughter and son-in-law and granddaughter today. Good afternoon. It is Friday, August 1st, 2025, and I am here at my daughter's house. My parents have gone home this morning, and Joe and I are just here watching our granddaughter while my daughter and her husband go out for their anniversary tonight. So I just wanted to update you and let you know that I have not heard about a decision yet. So in the interest of this vlog not going on forever and ever, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. I'm sorry. I know y'all were excited to hear, but I'm feeling the same way as you. We're just gonna have to wait and find out what we find out. But I have gotten some clarity and made the decision after a lot of prayer and thought that if I were to get offered a position this next week, and my district is willing to let me go for the first day of the required work days, then I would be willing to set my classroom up for whoever's coming in and take the position at the STEM school. I'm really excited about the opportunities there, and I feel like it would be a real a career builder move for me, because anytime that you are striving to do things the same way as your employer, it accelerates progress for everybody. And you know, I'm in the business of doing what's best for kids, so I like the idea that my efforts would be working with my employer and that we could accomplish a lot of good things for kids. So if they offer me the position and they offer it in a timely manner, then I will accept it. If they don't offer me the position, or if they come back like after next week and my district says, hey, we can't let you go, like right now it's too like close to the starting day, then I'll have to just tell them, hey, I'd love to take the job, but I have a responsibility to my team and to the families at our school, to the students, to be there at the beginning of the year. And I just don't feel comfortable like leaving them this late in the game. So it's really a timing thing right now. But I don't know what's going to happen. So once again, I will let you know as soon as I have concrete information, but I'm feeling like I'm ready for the school year now. So join me for classroom setup next week, because I am going to go back to my class and set up the basic configuration. So classroom setup 2 will be happening this week. So tune in for that. And like I said, we'll know when we know. Thanks for listening in, and I appreciate you all following this journey with me. It's been so nice to have so many positive comments about doing what's on my heart and continuing to search for my best place. So thank you for being so supportive. This has been like a great community that I can rely on to always have my back no matter what I'm going through. So I appreciate all of you. I love you. And I'm so glad you're here with me through all of this. As always, don't forget to work hard, be kind, and amazing things will happen. Have a great day.